Hello and welcome back to Tootie's Triumphs. Today I will be discussing the trending topic of adulting. Adulting, in my opinion, is when you outgrow childish things and ways, such as drama, beef, and anything that causes you to degress instead of to increase and benefit. So adulting is when you start doing adult-like things like paying bills, when you move out, when you get a full-time job, and adulting to carry out one or more of the duties and responsibilities expected of a fully developed individual, such as paying off credit card debts, settling beef without blasting social media, and etc. Definition number 2: to do grown-up things and hold responsibilities such as a 9 to 5 job, a mortgage slash rent, a car payment, or anything that makes one think of grown-up things. So when I read that definition, that makes me think that adulting means when you decide to move out and you decide to take on bills and your responsibilities of your own. So that's easier said than done, because once you move out you have to think about rent. You also have to think about the utility, which would be electricity, water, gas, a car note if you have one, and credit card bills, any of your finances that you have to pay month to month or even every year, that you have to keep all that into consideration. It's very important to leave drama and fighting and all kind of things like that in your past, because that could set you back. And what you want to do when you start adulting is progress. You don't want to degress. So you want to leave all the childish like things and anything that'll make you degress and fall downwards or go backwards. You want to leave that in the past, because you want to elevate and you want to continue to benefit. It's very important to start elevating your credit score as soon as possible. So I would say at the age of 18, I wouldn't try to fool with credit scores any earlier than that, because I think when you're 18, that's when your mind is mature enough to start paying bills and taking your credit score seriously and credit cards. Starting out to get your credit score good, I would only start out with one credit card. I wouldn't do 2 and 3, because that might mess you up, getting all the payments in on time, making sure the minimum payments are covered. So I would only start out with one, and I would start out with an easy one. So I would start out with like a Walmart or Forever 21, Victoria's Secret, JCPenney's, Burlington, any kind of clothing stores. I would start out because it'll be very easy for you to get a credit card just straight off the bat. Because sometimes when you don't have any credit, they look at you like you're one and the same with having a person with bad credit. So I would look at a clothing line, a clothing store. They would give you a credit card pretty easy. And then I would start out with just one, and I would pay the minimum payment of it every month and continue to do that on time, and that will increase your credit score in no time. Probably in a few months, probably in 3 to 6 months, you will see a huge transformation in your credit score. When I first got started with my credit, the average credit score I think was like 678, and now I think they've raised it up to somewhere in the 700s or 800s, just to try to make it like a little bit harder for people to get a perfect credit score. So one thing that I learned that I wish to share my advice with is when you pay the minimum payment every month, try to pay a little bit over, even if it's $10 or $15 over the minimum amount of your credit card. Pay that, because paying the minimum amount every month will make your credit score go down as well. And that's something that I recently found out. So they want you to pay a little bit more. They want you to pretty much charge a big amount and then pay it off within maybe like 2 to 5 months. So double up on your payments, or even pay $10 to $15, like I said, over the minimum payment. The minimum payment will be something like $25, $30, $35, so it won't be too much. But if it's $35, I will pay $40 or $45, and like I said, be consistent and pay it on time. So before I get out of here, I just want to talk to you guys about 2 more things that I didn't discuss in my blog, but I think are 2 important things when it comes to adulting. And one is clubbing. So if any of you guys know me personally, y'all know I used to be in a club every weekend. I never missed a party. I never missed a function. I never missed an event. or anything like that. But from personal experience, I can tell y'all the club will get old, especially when you start to get into your adult life and you have a job to go to, the next morning. A lot of that stuff is going to get old and tired. It's going to be the same scene, the same people, and the same things. So I just want to tell you guys, you have to think about your responsibilities and really think about what's important and make sure your priorities are in line when think about what's important to you about whether you want to go to the club or whether you need to get up and make sure you're on time for your full-time job the next day. Also, diseases are real and they are out there. So one important thing about clubbing is to make sure that you're careful about the people you choose and what you do and who you choose to lay down with, because some of those diseases you can get rid of and some of them you can't. So you really need to be careful. Make sure you protect yourself and you strap up, and make sure you also reevaluate the people, because if you do happen to catch a disease, you also need to think about what kind of person would do that to you. Reevaluate his or her intentions for you and just their whole motive behind doing that. So whether you get it or not, you should take it seriously and make sure you